Mhm.
What is the bullish and bearish case for Hedron?
Hedron. Bullish case, you could boil it down to its token distribution model is tied to the share rate, particularly B shares. So as B shares or just shares get exponentially more difficult to obtain as the share rate increases, as well as the trend of price goes up. And with those two together being force multipliers, new people entering the system, it'll be much more difficult for them to obtain Hedron.
Mm.
So that's one. I mean, there will be a time, just like T shares were 67 cents at one point, and now at a 90% correction, or 85, 90% correction, it still costs over $500 if you leverage 15 years of your time to get one. And so
Mm.
we're just going to see that exact same process repeat just at the B share level instead of the T share level. And so eventually people will only be able to mint less than one Hedron a day, based on their stakes, what they can afford. And then,
Mm.
in addition to that, you have some burning mechanics. And the main burning mechanic is through the liquidation auctions, where people, when there's a defaulted HSI stake, people bid on it, and then that Hedron is burned, gone forever, and then people get that person who wins gets the stake, as well as whenever people pay off their make their payments, their premium, sorry, their principal plus their premium. That premium is extra Hedron that has to get bought off the market, which is also burnt.
Mm.
So the advanced feature, both from people who pay their loans off in the allotted parameters, as well as through the liquidations, Hedron gets burnt. So if you pair the burning mechanism with the asymptotic nature of the supply trending towards zero, that just creates an environment where the token becomes extremely scarce. Um, Now the
Mm.
bear and then so that's like two things mixed together, and then people will presumably be buying Hedron off the market in order to bid on these liquidation auctions for the arbitrage opportunity there. If you can get this Hedron off the market cheaper than if you can get the stake by buying Hedron off the market cheaper than you could by buying Hex off the market and staking it, that is where economic mass is going to go. So those are kind of the bare basic bullish cases. I think it goes more in depth, but I have to work that out a little bit more myself. The bearish case,
Sure.
and if you'll notice, most of the bullish case has to do on the supply side of the supply dynamic paradigm, a supply demand paradigm of price. And most of the bearish case it surrounds the demand. So right now, well, a little bit of the supply, but also the demand. So first, the supply part of the bearish argument is that there is a lot of Hedron going to a very small amount of people. And that's kind of the flip side of what I just said for the bullish case. So the people with thousands and thousands of T shares, they're able to mint just billions and billions of Hedron ad nauseum for 15 years, or however long their staking ladder lasts. And then that's compounded with the launch bonus, where most of them got anywhere between a 7 to 10x. I'm sure a lot of them got a 10x.
Yeah.
So you have a small centralized group of people with a lot of the coins, and they're able to just market dump on people's heads anytime there's any momentum in price. And then a lot of the system depends on the HSIs and the advanced function being utilized. And so, if these people are market dumping and suppressing the price for such a long period of time, um, and this liquidation off auction never really gets off the ground and running, then you get into this situation where that burning isn't happening, and the system isn't allowed to work as intended, and so people are just dumping without any actual demand being introduced into the system. So it just becomes a permanent dump
Mm.
token. So those are basically from what I've seen in the community, those are kind of the pros and cons of Hedron, of what people are arguing about it.